Hello, and welcome back to the King of the Cats making of series. This is week 4, and after last week's pretty long video of watching me paint a cat for about 10 minutes, I figured I would try to keep it short for you guys this week. After all you've been hearing about the story, I thought you might like to know how I came upon this story. And so we're going to take a look at this and find out what exactly it is and what connection it has to the King of the Cats.
Okay, so before there was this lovely book that you're all hopefully very well acquainted with by now, there was this. Way back in 2013 when I was a sophomore at the School of Visual Arts, I was taking a storytelling class and they tasked us to tell a fairy tale in 8 pictures. And so rather than sticking with your Cinderellas or your Little Mermaids, I decided that I wanted to find something that, well, if not something that I'd never heard of, something that at least I'd never seen done as a princess movie before. So after a bunch of research, I stumbled upon the King of the Cats. And I had never heard of it before, which was super odd for me because I was a pretty crazily voracious reader as a child. Like one time I went and read like a 1,000-page volume of Grimm's fairy tales and other folklore stories. Like I got really into weird folklore for a while, and I had still never heard of this story. So that is the first thing that drew me to it. And I also loved just how odd it was, because you enter this world and then, okay, something weird happens and you think you're about to go on like a strange adventure with this unknown traveler or whomever is in the iteration of the story you're reading. And then all of a sudden the story takes a hard turn and then you're out and you're kind of just left there wondering, wait, what just happened? So, I immediately knew that this was the story for me. A lot of things have changed between this version and the original version that I made for school, but a lot of the things have stayed the same. Like, for instance, this first page is pretty much exactly the same illustration as it was in the original book. But things like the second page have changed immensely, as you can see. A lot of that happens because, you know, your art will evolve in the space of like 3 or so years. And other things is just for layout purposes, like the shapes of these books are obviously very different. And when I was first making this story, I didn't know that it would eventually turn into this, but I loved the story so much that I found it really hard to leave behind. So I decided that I wanted to finish it off and make it complete for publication. And now here we are today. Speaking of crafty things like handmade books, next week we're actually going to be showing you guys a bunch of different crafts that we discovered when we were looking for activities to do at the King of the Cats readings. And while we can't do all of them at the readings, we liked so many of them so much that we figured it would be great to share them with you guys. So I hope you check back next week for that. And if you guys actually want to learn how to make little handmade books like the original King of the Cats, let me know and maybe I can make a video about that too. So I will see you guys next week. Bye!
Wobbly top!